As of late, I have received a ton of comments asking me, what have I done in order to get lean? What have I been doing recently to change the way I look? And to be honest with you, it's been a very simple process. And the purpose of this video is to go through the steps I took in order to shed some body fat and just get in better general aesthetic condition. First and foremost, I'll explain the trigger point as to why I decided to choose this path. During the course of last year, I started to develop some dodgy eating habits. I've always had a sweet tooth, and my sweet tooth, like most people, tends to kick in at night. Every night I was finding myself buying chocolate, cakes and eating them, but at the same time thinking to myself rather foolishly that the amount of physical expenditure I partake in would have a mitigating effect on body fat gain. But I was spinning my wheels, I was deluding myself. I was noticing that my weight was starting to creep up over time. And it kind of reached a tipping point at the Christmas period, which it does for most people, where I kind of had to look in the mirror and realised that I was getting quite fluffy. So I decided that I needed to take action. The action I decided to take was very simple, and it was just using tried and tested methods. Number one was getting my diet in order. Now, to be honest with you, I am under the firm belief that dietary information, diet stuff is a minefield. It's confusing. It ties in with people's beliefs. People get kind of upset about diet. People think they know everything about diet. I couldn't really be bothered with all that. So I decided to purchase a subscription with an application or an app called MacroFactor. I wanted to take the guesswork out of eating. And it was probably the best move I made with regards to my nutrition. MacroFactor is a powerful application. And the unique feature of MacroFactor is that it accurately calculates your TDEE over time and adjusts your calories to suit that TDEE and help you reach your goals. So I knew I wanted to drop about 20 pounds of weight, and I wanted to do it quickly because I don't see the point in long periods of dieting. The conventional wisdom for most people is drop a pound a week and it will be more sustainable and you won't lose as much muscle. But to be honest with you, I couldn't really face the whole ordeal of dieting for 20, 30 weeks. It didn't really fit in with my mindset. So like my approach to burpees, I decided to be aggressive with the dieting. So one of the options in MacroFactor is determining how much weight you want to lose per week, and it will adjust your calories accordingly. I went for the extreme option of 2 pounds of weight to be lost on a weekly basis. And this created round about the region of a 750 to 1,000 calorie deficit on a daily basis. For some people, I get it, that's just not achievable. However, I wanted to make this process as smooth and as quick as possible so I could get back to eating at maintenance and possibly eating at a slight surplus. So my strategy from that point was to eat foods that were quite large in volume but low in calories. That meant a lot of vegetables, a lot of chicken, a lot of lean meats ultimately, kind of kept away from red meat due to the fat content, the amount of calories in red meat and so forth. I also went for low calorie snacks at night to ensure that my sweet tooth addiction could slightly be tempered. I knew that was going to be an issue, so I had to work with it as opposed to against it. And that strategy worked beautifully for me, absolutely like a dream. I loved it. I could easily maintain the calorie limit that the application was setting for me. So I was round about the region of 2,100, 2,200 calories a day. And the reason being is because my TDEE was very high. I spend a lot of days on my feet, and I am also doing my burpee sessions. So that is like creating a massive TDEE as opposed to someone who's in a sedentary job where they're sitting down all day and they probably don't do much physical activity. So as you can see, there was no really magic process involved. I wasn't on a diet. I wasn't eating some special foods that were burning fat. It was just simple food choices healthy food choices, a lot of vegetables, a lot of lean meats, low calorie drinks, low calorie snacks. I was having the odd KFC now and again, but these were few and far between. I kept it strict because I knew I was wanting to end this process as soon as I possibly could. And once again, I achieved the desired effect because over a 10-week process, I dropped around the region of 24 pounds. I started at the 167 pound mark and I ended at 144 pounds. So how did I train during that process? I combined weight training with burpees, and that's been well documented over the last couple of months or so on my YouTube channel, where at one point I actually released the weights program that I have been doing at this point through a bodybuilding video. I've kind of got myself sucked into the natural bodybuilding style movement. Not that I want to be a natural bodybuilder at all, I just like the ethos of hard work, and it's something that connects with me on a personal level, having started this whole game doing the weights. So what was the program I did? Well, what I did was I did probably 4 or 5 days training in the gym. Very short, brief sessions. I can't train for any longer than 45 minutes. And I focused on upper lower split. Sometimes I would veer into a bro split, doing chest one day, back, legs. It just depended on my schedule. I wasn't getting too caught up on having a set program. My ethos in this respect was just getting into the gym and working hard and trying to hit body parts with a degree of volume and just maintaining the muscle that I had, because ultimately I realised that during the process of dieting, I wasn't going to grow any muscle because I was in such a strict calorie deficit. So it was a case of just trying to maintain what I had. That meant the volume could be kept quite low, but at the same time, I had to keep the intensity high. So every single exercise I did in the gym, when using weights, free weights, machines, was done on the basis that I would have a couple of warm-up sets, then there would be 2 sets to failure. Sometimes a top set, then a back-off set, just how I felt on any given moment. And it worked very well for me. As for the burpees, which has been documented on my channel, long routines were avoided. I kept my routines to either 20 or 25 minutes maximum and focused on intensity to a degree, because once again, if I I was going past a certain time frame, then I was going to start eating muscle. That's just something I had in my head. Whether it would happen or not, I don't know. At the same time, anything longer than 25 minutes would have been detrimental to keeping muscle at that point. So the burpees took a slight hit. However, the frequency of burpees increased. I was doing them 6 times a week. Short, sharp, focused routines. And I felt that beautifully complemented the weight training and really drove the calorie deficit up to a certain degree and allowed me to eat more and negate the negative effects of a aggressive dieting process. So basically that was it. Nothing crazy, no crazy magic was involved. I wasn't on some super diet. It was just basic hard work. So basically it was a simple process, as explained. It was burpees combined with resistance training and a methodical approach to calorie intake, making sure that my macronutrients were hit regularly while achieving a large calorie deficit. So where do I go from here? Well, where I go from here is I'm trying to maintain the weight I am at for a couple of weeks, just to let my body get used to it, just to let it get used to that weight and settle itself. And then from then on, I'm going to try and start to put on an extra bit of muscle. The good thing about increasing your calories is it allows you to train harder, which is something I've been looking forward to. During the diet process, you have to temper your training to a certain degree because you don't want to overdo it. The recovery process will suffer some hard impact because you're not getting the calories to promote the recovery that you really need from an intense training regime, which is what I do. Hopefully this video answers a few questions for people. Hopefully it kinda gives them an idea as to how easy the diet process actually is. I think it's something that's confusing for most people because they're looking for a magic bullet, when the reality is you just need to set a calorie deficit. The more aggressive, the better. In my book, if your mindset is attuned to that process. Some people won't be able to handle that, and I get that. They would probably have to take the slower, more methodical approach. Whereas for a guy like myself who goes all in, the aggressive approach suited me to a T. So once again, just to give you some bullet points, aggressive cut combined with burpees and resistance training, and spending a lot of the day on my feet, be it through work or running after children. That's all it took. There was no magical food choices. There was no magical diet protocol. It was just straight up hard work combined with an aggressive calorie deficit. Hopefully that answers a lot of you guys' questions, and hopefully it gives you some clarity as to what you need to do in this process if you're looking to lose weight and get in better aesthetic shape, as they call it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know about what you think about the diet process I took. Let me know if you feel that it's something that you can do, or if you gained anything from this video. It would be nice to hear your guys' take on the dieting process that I undertook. It would be good to hear your opinions if you felt like I did it a bit too aggressively, or you felt like I took a course of action which you felt would probably be beneficial to guys like yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Always an honour to chat to you guys. Take it easy. Bye.